Silence is one of the best things you can use to create natural attraction with the woman that you truly want. Now, I'm not talking about some cheap manipulation technique or seduction tactic where you try to make the woman fall in love with you or make her feel certain emotions so that she's attracted to you, but more so the complete opposite. How to use silence mostly to create certain emotions in yourself, emotions of confidence, of calm, of serenity, of peace, of just a relaxed energy. Because I'll tell you, the first thing is that when you're silent and when you're not trying to fill up the void of conversation, you allow your mind to be in a state of relaxation. And relaxation is one of the most important emotions that you can feel when you're interacting with a woman, because then it allows you to feel other emotions, emotions of fun, of excitement, of passion, of interest, of arousal. But when you're not relaxed, it's very hard to feel fun. You're just a bit nervous and tense. Think back to that time when you got the courage to approach a woman, let's say in the street or a library or a coffee shop, and maybe you felt a bit tense and you couldn't think about anything else but that tension. Or if you were in a date with a very attractive woman and you felt that you were agreeing with everything that she said without thinking whether you agree with it or not. You were just trying to fill up the void of conversation and also trying to be nice and agreeable. And silence solves all of this. It allows your mind to think, it allows yourself to be relaxed. So I'll give you a story that is related with this. So back in 2021, I was receiving coaching on my social skills and on my dating by a friend called Steph. And we were in Kiev in Ukraine. And it was the first day of the boot camp, in-person boot camp. And I was feeling a bit tense. I was feeling a bit, I don't know why, uneasy. So I had done thousands of approaches by then, but it's just that in that moment it was a new environment, and maybe part of me was thinking that I wanted to impress Steph, my coach, and I was having interactions where, again, I was very accelerated and uneasy. So he told me to do something a bit extreme. So he saw two attractive women sitting on a bench, and he said, "You're going to approach them, and in the first 10 seconds, you're not allowed to say anything. So you're going to count in your head. You're going to go approach, look them in the eye. Then you're going to count in your head until 10, and then you can speak." I was like, fuck. I had done this before. It's called like the silent opener. But it was some years back, and I wasn't looking forward to the experience because I was already feeling a bit tense. And I thought that the reaction wouldn't be good. But I said, I'm here in the coaching, I'm just gonna do it. I went up there with a smile on my face, looking in the eye of the woman that I wanted to speak to in the bench, and I started counting in my head 1, 2, 3, 4. And as I started counting, and after that first second or 2 seconds of a bit of awkwardness that I was feeling, I could feel all of my body just relaxing, just letting go. Like my feet, my legs, my shoulders, my arms, everything was a bit more relaxed. And my mind was relaxed as well. And after those 10 seconds, I just said, "Hi, my name is Armin. I think you're attractive." And I had to come and say hi. And the reaction by the woman was amazing. They started to laugh and they started speaking with me. And we spoke for a few minutes, la la, just took her number. The greatest point was that after that experience, the rest of the day was completely different, was much better. The quality of the conversations I was having were much better. The interactions I was having were much better. The reactions were much better. The way I was feeling was much better. Because in that moment, it's kind of like I released all those emotions of tension and uneasy energy, and I allowed myself to step into a state of confidence, a state of relaxed, grounded energy. And this is something that you feel and the woman feels as well. And not only in an interaction where you speak with her the first time, in the street, in a coffee shop, anywhere. No, it's the same in a date. So when you're in a date, you can go with a certain energy of just very tense and very uneasy and trying to fill up the void of conversation anytime that there's a little silence and agreeing with everything that the woman says without thinking whether it's something that you agree with or not. Or you can go in a relaxed way, like imagine you're just leaning back on your sofa, on your chair, speaking with your best friend. That same energy, of course, channeled in a romantic way, but that same energy of carefree attitude and being relaxed in the same in the date. Imagine that. And then the woman is talking about something and you're just listening and looking at her in the eyes. You're not trying to fill up the void. If there's a little silence, it's totally okay. And then you're going to start receiving some compliments like, you give off very peaceful energy. I'm very comfortable and very relaxed when I'm around you. This is something that I've received time and time again. And it's something that I worked on. The lesson that I relearned in Kiev was something that I already worked on in the past, as I said, with silent openers and just forcing myself to, let's say, speak a bit slower. So notice if you speak very, very fast when you're with a woman, what happens is that it's kind of like you're trying to rush things. You approach a woman in the street and you're afraid that she's going to leave because it's a situation which is not super common. So you try to get everything out as quickly as possible before she leaves, before she goes. She keeps walking. And it's having the complete opposite effect. When you use silence to make yourself feel a certain emotion, let's say you approach a woman and you say, hey, excuse me. And you give that 1, 2 seconds of time for her to understand that, okay, wants to catch my attention. I'm just gonna, okay, turn around and say what this person wants to tell me. You give that first few seconds of silence, and then you give her a compliment. Let's say, yeah, you're very attractive. I had to come say hi. And again, after you say something, it's okay to leave a bit of a pause before you say the next thing. You're just also allowing the woman to have a conversation with you, you know? When I coach many guys and I do these golden calls that we call, where I'm coaching them in field, just on a call with them, and they approach a woman and I hear how they're communicating and I give them feedback. One of the things that I hear the most is just the guy talking 90% of the time. And when that happens, what's happening is that you're just taking over the whole conversation and the woman feels like she is not a participant anymore. And she also feels that uneasy, tense energy. So again, just as a activity, as an exercise for your next approaches that you do, you don't have to go to the extreme of doing like a silent opener where you stand there for 10 seconds, but you can just practice speaking much, much slower. So imagine that you are a video on YouTube and you put it at 0.75%. So you go a bit slower than usual. And what you will notice is that it's like your words and your intention has much more weight behind it. And this is enough. You can speak like this, like I'm speaking to you now, and you're going to notice a instant difference in the quality of your interactions. Because even you are going to feel totally different emotions when you start speaking like this. It doesn't have to be forever. You can speak fast and still be relaxed. It doesn't mean that somebody who's speaking fast is feeling tense or uneasy, but it's just a trigger. It's something that reminds you to check on with your body, to check on with the fact that, okay, am I feeling a bit tense? Why is that? I'm just speaking to another human being. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm just gonna feel. I'm gonna remember to just free my shoulders, free all of my body, and feel a bit more relaxed and a bit more easy. So that's one of the exercises. The second exercise is that I want you, for the next date that you have with a woman, that you leave 1 second after anything you say. So if you usually would give a compliment, let's say the woman came and she is looking adorable, she's looking super sweet, and you give her a compliment like, you look amazing today. Instead of saying that and then continuing super quickly, you pause for a second. You give that silence of, you look amazing today. That's it. You're going to wait for her reply. If she doesn't reply, it's okay. You can keep talking and say, how was your week? But you give that extra second of time so that a certain sexual tension, not bad tension of nervousness, but sexual tension can arise as well. And in the dates, it's one of the best ways to also create that environment where the woman is feeling certain emotions of arousal as well. Because why? Because you allow yourself to feel relaxed, then the woman feels relaxed as well. And if you're both together there, you're attracted to each other, then arousal is a natural thing that happens. That sexual tension is the thing that then creates arousal, and it can only happen if you're relaxed and if there's also some silences in the date. So you're gonna again feel that the quality of the dates that you have increases massively. And again, all of this is falls within what I call natural attraction. You're focusing on yourself, on your own state, on creating that environment in a natural way. You're not thinking I'm gonna shut up so that the woman starts feeling a bit insecure around me and she thinks I'm cool. But more so, I'm gonna shut up so that my brain understands that I'm not on danger and I can relax and I can be at peace. And then the vibe that we have with the woman is completely different. So again, I just wanted to leave you with this concept because it had a huge impact in myself, and also it was one of the best feedback points that we implemented with any clients that I worked with. It was beneficial for pretty much all of them, because most guys, when we see a woman that we like in public, or we are in a date with a woman that's very attractive, and if you haven't really practiced your confidence and your social skills up to a certain level, you feel a bit of that tension and you're not letting those silences. So when you make this switch, a bit of silence and speaking a bit slower, the effect that you have in yourself is incredible. So I hope you apply it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you would like to learn more, you can go to armengaribian.com, which is my website, and you'll see that there's a case study on how I create natural attraction with the women I truly want using my emotional buttons. You'll be able to watch it for free. And if you see that you resonate with what we cover there, then you will be able to book a call with me one-on-one and see if we're a good fit to work together on your dating goals. That's it for today's video, and I'll see you on the next one.